Welcome to another episode of Good Tones and Coffee. Don't forget, we're giving away this guitar to one of the first 1,000 subscribers, so don't miss your chance and subscribe. So maybe you saw my video a couple weeks ago about the PRS Silver Sky. Been around for a couple years now, well, several years now, when John Mayer made the switch over to PRS from Fender, kind of made some waves. Well, just a few years ago, they made the SE version. The SE line from PRS has been a great line for many, many years. It really puts great guitars and affordable guitars into the hands of players who maybe can't afford the core models. So, of course, when John Mayer announced his joining, if you will, his signing, whatever you call it, partnership, there we go, his partnership with Paul Reed Smith, it wasn't too long afterwards that people were wondering, hey, is an SE line in the works? And the SE model finally came out a couple years ago. And I'll tell you what, I know I kind of got a little flack from the Silver Sky video. I liked the guitar. In fact, I offered the guy to trade for it because I liked it that much. I really liked the neck on that thing. I had some nitpicks about the tuning machines at the price point. Not necessarily the tuning machines in general. I didn't think that they were terrible. I just thought that at that price point, they could feel more premium. And they're nothing with functionality on the guitar. Like I said, I offered to trade for that guitar. He hasn't said no yet. So here's to hoping. But anyways, I liked it so much that I thought, well, I got to get the SE model and see how it compares. So that's what I got today. I've got the SE model. And you know what? I intended to go and eventually get the SE model, but, I went into my local music store just, on the happenstance that they might have something that I could see, and walked in, and this was sitting on the stand right there, and for a reasonable price, and it's like new. The guy who brought it in was local, who bought it new from that store. Also has the core model, so he traded this in to get his daughter an acoustic guitar. So I had lucked out. They got it in the day before, so the stars aligned, and I was able to grab one for a reasonable price to show to you today. This is the PRS Silver Sky SE. And let me tell you something. The neck carve is a little different. Well, I don't even have this thing plugged in. Okay, there we go. The neck carve is a little different than what the core model had. It's still comfortable, but I can feel the difference. The finish is a little different, and it's obvious. I expect there to be differences. This is not this can't be let's see what all the differences are. There's going to be differences. There has to be in order to make a guitar that's like the core model in affordability, in a lower price point, which this is. But I will say, this is still a great guitar, and I think that it's a winner. I like the sound of the pickups, just kind of how they are, which they do a great job at giving that Strat sound, and they do a great job, in my opinion, of getting that 60s that 60s Strat sound, which is what they were shooting for, that early 60, like 63, 64, was what they were shooting for when they were voicing these pickups. So these, of course, are the Indonesian pickups. The core model has the USA pickups. Again, rosewood fretboard here. We've got the truss rod cover is a little different. The tuning machines, again, this is why I said something about the tuning machines on my last video, was because they're the same, like, feel. This is the same, and it's all tactile. I know they use different tuning machines, and I will say that the gear ratios feel different. I don't know if it's a placebo, if I'm just thinking different, but those ones felt like you could get more precise. So again, my gripe in the last one wasn't even a gripe. It was just like that feels cheap, and I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of just talking about that too much. The nut is different here. I don't know what this material is, but it looks like a piece of chalk on there. It's not, but it kind of has that kind of satin look, and to a large degree, but it's fine. It does the job. I will say this: as far as any gripe I have on this, let's get philosophical for a moment. When I say gripe, I don't mean that I have a legitimate complaint in that I'm not going to buy this guitar or advise you to not buy this guitar because of said issue. For me, it's all just little personal preference things that I might like something better on something else. But what I find interesting and what I find prevalent throughout the music community is the real players, while they might have preferences, it doesn't matter what is in their hands. They do well, and they make it sound great. Think about the guys that, built the guitars in their garage. Like look at Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstein. Look at Brian May's guitars that he just built in a shop. They didn't care what they had. They just made something that fit their needs at the time. So when I say gripe, I mean it's just like it's not as good as I felt, but I don't expect a whole lot out of a budget or a affordability line guitar. But okay, back to what I was saying. The tremolo system on this one is different. Obviously, they have the 6-screw tremolo system on the core model, and it felt great. But this one is got the 2-point trem system, which where'd I put it? Oh, never mind. I've got a Fender Strat that has a 2-point trem system as well, and that one is pretty smooth. I don't even know where the bar is. You know what? I'm gonna rob it off of this DGT. Which, by the way, this isn't a DGT review, but that trem system feels great, and it's a 6-screw version. Anyway, so let's put this trem bar in here. I will say this. The position of the bar is great. That Strat that I have, it's a 60th anniversary Strat that came out in 2014. The arm, sits way up here. But this one is very comfortable, very ergonomical. But I will say this, though. I haven't even tuned. What am I doing? Hold on. Let's take a quick break. Okay, sorry about that. So we got this trim. It's okay. Watch this. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. I'll try it again. There's a little bit, but if you want any kind of dive, you got to get nasty with it. I mean, I don't know how much it can convey, but I'm putting a significant amount of pressure on this tremolo arm here. Anyways, it's just smoother. Again, it's not a legitimate gripe into where I'm going to say, hey, don't buy this guitar. It's not what I'm saying. You know what? I'll put that up there later. But it's I've noticed that it's a different type of trem system that requires a significant amount of oomph to get it to where you want it to go in comparison to, if this was all I knew, this would be great. And so that's why I'm saying I'm not advising anyone to knock at this guitar. I think this is a stellar guitar for the money. And let me just drop the for the money. I think this is a stellar guitar. I like it. I really do. So many people ask me, hey, Jacob, why do you spray your coffee beans? What does that even do? Let me tell you this. It doesn't do anything really to the flavor, but what it does do, it's for a cleanliness aspect. When I spray those coffee beans and just kind of make the outer surface moist just a little bit, when the grinder hits it, it doesn't produce a bunch of static electricity and put all of these little particles that stick up against the sidewall of that grinder. It allows me to actually get all of the coffee that I've measured out to go down into the measuring cup to then transfer over into whatever brewing method I decide. So just a little quick tip. That's why I spray my coffee beans. So here we go. Quick cycle through. There's a quick cycle through the pickups. This is a great guitar, and one that I'm glad to have. I think this is one that'll just stay in the lineup. And about that trem system, I can't have too big a complaint about it because I never really learned how to use a tremolo. I never really learned how to incorporate. I mean, I can, like I've taught myself since learning. But it's not something that I rely on, so it's not too big a gripe for me. I just noticed that there's a difference in there. So again, let's roll off the tone a little bit, and you can kind of get those. I don't have one on. Let's try it. Retake. So that's the tone about 3. Let's move it up to about 6. Wide open. Does it? Has all the Strat feels, or S style feels. I can say Strat. I'm not getting paid for this review. No one's sponsoring this. I paid my own money for this guitar. Anyways, great guitar. Love it, love it, love it. Again, it's a staple, and I'm partial to rosewood boards. They make the maple fingerboard version, and I have played one. I just like rosewood boards. I like the feel of them. This feels like home to me. It feels comfortable. I don't know why. So have you ever had a Silver Sky in your hands, especially the SE model? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Again, great guitar. I'm going to hang on to it for a little while. I'm going to be using it, putting it through all of its paces throughout the next, I don't know, several months. I'll probably take it to church and play it at church for a while. But anyways, it's a great guitar, and I think it's a guitar that you should at least take a look at. If you're into Strat-style guitars, it is definitely a contender. I'm curious to see, and I know there's guys who put videos out there, that Ventera series that Fender put out. I'd like to see how it measures up against that. Maybe I'll go get one. Well, I don't know. My wife might not be too happy about me buying another guitar. But anyways, if you like this kind of content, you want to see more of it, please hit that notification bell. I guess you should subscribe first. Excuse me. But anyways, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the cool things we got coming up. Hey, and we're all trying to get better together, so keep grinding away.